Hello everybody and welcome back. Sorry for the long delay between videos. I was actually out of town on vacation and I just didn't have enough time to record videos in advance and really get like a lot of stuff set up for you guys. So my apologies on that. But today is exciting because we get to do more stuff with properties. Now, some of you are going to go, I don't know what properties are. Hey, that's what we're here for. All right. Um, so what we're going to do with properties is going to be pretty fun. Instead of using the get and set method, instead of using the get and set method, we are going to replace them with get and set inside of the account. Remember how I spoke to you guys before that that get and set are actually done in C#? Well, I wanted to show you guys how to use the get and set, get name, set name, as a way to write methods. I wanted to use this as an example of how to write other methods, right? But now what we're going to be doing is called the properties. So we're going to use the properties in account to automatically get and set the account name, right? So we are going to be adjusting things around real quick. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go all the way over here to lesson 4 OOP, and I'm going to show you something new that this is typically what you're going to do with classes from now on. You're going to right click this. You're going to go down to add new item. Oops, not new item. Add class. There it is. Add class. And it's going to say, hey, what do you want to do? This is all fine. This is perfect right where it is. We're just going to rename this one account.cs. Okay, and inside of here, what we're going to do is take class account. Actually, we don't need anything inside class account because it's already an internal class. We're going to take all this, though, copy that, bring it over here, and then we're going to delete this out of here. So we're going to get rid of class account. And you're going to notice nothing changes because it's all fine. It's all linked over here. Get rid of that silly thing. So we're just going to hit Control S to save real quick. And now we're going to fix this up so that this is actually going to work today. And you guys might be annoyed that it didn't work before. Don't worry. It's coming. It's getting fixed now. So we're going to take this. We're going to Control X that. We're going to move it up here in front first. I prefer it up there. I know we left it over there for other reasons, but that's fine. We're getting rid of it now. Don't yell at me. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start changing some variables up here. So you see that we've got user account.getName. Well, we don't need to call that method anymore. So we're just going to call it name. And it's going to scream at us. It's going to give us the squiggly line. That is A-okay. We're going to fix that in just a second. I'm going to show you guys how. Which means we also got to go down and change some other stuff. So we're not going to be using user account anymore. We're going to change it to your name. Right? We still want a console read line in. So that's fine. User account set name. We're going to get rid of this now. So this is going to change to user account. Get rid of that. And that's going to be name. And then equals your name. Oh, nope, that's just supposed to be name. It's still trying to link things over for me to help me out. It's trying to link things from account CS, which we don't actually need. Because we're going to change a bunch of stuff up. Well, not a bunch, but enough. All right. And then we've got console right line. We're going to change this to name. Hit my caps there for a second. All right. Now, again, it's screaming at us. It's like, what are you doing? So what we're going to do now is go over here. And this is going to annoy some of you guys, but I'm going to get rid of the set name and the get name. We're going to completely remove those because now I'm going to show you how to just use the getter and setter that is internally built into C#. So what we're going to do, we've got a private string name. Now we're going to do public string name, right? And it immediately knows. When I type get, it wants to, you see how it's just like, oh, there it is. Bam, we're done. That's exactly what it wants to do. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit so you guys aren't super confused, because I know some of you are gonna just kind of, what the heck is going on? All right, with this, So this is going to returns corresponding corresponding instance variables value. And over here is going to assign a new value to the corresponding instance variables value. All right. So some of you might be going crazy, like, what the heck is going on? Let's see. What is this saying? Internal class account. It's expecting. Must have deleted an extra one somewhere along the lines. There it is. Perfect. So now, we're going to control save this real quick. So now you see that this is identical to what we wrote over here. And bam, look at all those squiggly lines just disappear. All right. So now what program is doing, since we've created these two different tabs, we've created an internal class account, as you can see right here. So it knows that whenever we're calling anything for account, any instance of account, which is user account, we're calling to this page over here. Instead of just writing it all on one big page, we're using multiple pages. And again, this is what we were doing last time when we were breaking down our code into different classes. We're doing the same thing now. We're breaking our classes down into separate pages so that our code is cleaner and easier to go through. So let's make sure we're saved up. So Control S, and then let's go ahead and run this program. And I want you guys to see the difference that's going to happen. Bam. Console dialog pops up. What do you wish to name your account? We're going to name it, we're going to name it syntax. Actually, let's go the syntax sorcerer. And now it's going to output username is the syntax sorcerer. And then, of course, this is just automatically going through the stuff. Press any key to close the window. All right, that's perfect. So what's happening is we start up on main. Main creates an account, a class called a user account, and then a new instance of, which is a new instance of it. And then it's going to write out nothing because we don't use this line, right? Nothing comes through because we don't use this line. We haven't gotten a name yet. Remember, I told you that before. We haven't actually given it a name, which is why it's going to pop out over here. And when we're done, this is going to make far more sense. This whole line is going to start popping out multiple names, and then we're going to be able to ask, do you want to add another name in there? So right now, the computer skips this because there's nothing to output. So what do we do next? We do console write, what do you wish to name your account? That's what comes through. Your name pops up, and what happens is console read line is going to read into the variable your name. We're then going to call the user account, which is our account.cs, and it's going to use the setter to assign value to name. Then it's going to return name back. And then when we go over here, your name, which is the variable on this side, is going to be set to the name value that we've returned here. So it's going to pop that back over, and then we're going to display it again in the user account.name. And that's how that goes through. So this is going to be a little bit of a shorter one, so let's kind of go through like what happens right here. So if you're confused, we only did a couple small changes, and that's because I want to show you the getters and setters through C#. So we showed how to create an internal class. So we're just going to write that down, internal class. Right click on the name of the lesson, which is right over here. You're going to click add and then class. Add and then class. And then name it what we need to name it. So that one was named account because we took out account of here. Remember that. All right, so what's happening? So again, we're going to go over this. Main transfers control from user account.name to the properties. Gosh, can I type today? Property names accessor. So that is what's going on. We talked about properties. Properties is literally this. we are accessing the properties. This is automatic through C#. We don't have to create a method to do this, right? So we're accessing the properties name accessor, right? A property, let's see, a get property accessor is used to return property value. A set property accessor is used to assign a new value. Remember that. Same thing as we did in the methods. We're just using it internally in CS now. C#, sorry. I say CS. I was looking right there. We're using it internally in C# because C# already does it for us. All right. So now that we've spoken about properties and accessors, let's talk about what are auto-implemented properties, which is what we're using. Auto-implemented properties are automatic properties that are used when no additional logic, remember that additional logic is required in the property accessors. These are get and set, right? These are called automatic properties. They are the automatic property accessor. So we call on this right here with the name, your name, right? We use these to access the get and set that automatically fills everything in when no extra logic is needed. Again, if you need to do extra logic, that's when we would go back to the methods. There are other things we can do inside of C#, but it's not that big of a deal, right? So the big thing I want to discuss is, like, some of you are going to go, well, why did we do all that work? Like, why didn't we just do this? Because this is a beginning course, guys. I'm trying to show you how to do everything. And I have to do that very slowly because I got to show you one thing at a time. Now, this is our first, like, big project that's, like, multiple videos. And that's fine. I just need you to understand that I am teaching you. Teaching. Cool. Can I spell? I need you to understand how everything works. You need to know. Oh, let's do this. You need to know how to write methods. Now, let's say how to write classes. And now you know how to create an internal class and how to use automatic, or I should say auto-implemented properties. This is a teaching environment. I know sometimes we're going to backtrack and do things that you guys aren't always going to be enjoying, but again, this is to teach you. I'm teaching you as if you are a brand new beginner and you have never coded in your life. I will eventually get into more advanced stuff that people with intermediate or even advanced knowledge would be able to jump into, but right now this is the beginner course. This is teaching you everything you need to know. This is teaching you about your accessors, your automatic properties. We've talked about abstraction. We've talked about object-oriented programming. We've talked about classes, public, private, static, void. These are all things that, experienced coders will know. But my unexperienced people will be a little overwhelmed. So we're going to keep this video short today. And now you have this. We're going to go on to add multiple classes. And then I think we'll have a balance that we'll add to it later. That way it can keep track of, different account names. We can put in, let's say, put in 2 account names, maybe 3. Depends on how fun we're feeling that day. And then next up, we're going to do balances. So we're going to tag a balance onto those account name specifically. So whenever I pull up account syntax sorcerer, it's going to say syntax sorcerer has $12 to his name. He's stupidly poor. And you might be right. YouTube doesn't pay me because I don't make enough content right now. So, but anyways, guys, have fun with it. If you want to write things in your own way, try it out. There is no harm in just coming through and changing something, playing with it. Go through, error proof your stuff. Maybe you're getting a red squiggly line right here. Like, what did you write differently that I didn't write? What did you change? Go through these things. These are great to learn. So anyways, if you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. As always, if you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, follow, whatever you can do to help me out, I would really appreciate. Thank you guys.